Hello, my name is Hannah from Rexy Studio and welcome to the Goostarion build video series. Looking up different references of a geese, I decided to build the body first, as that is going to be the bigger part of the puppet. After transferring the pattern onto the cardboard, I cut out loads of circles. This is going to help build up that shape. After cutting out multiple of circles, I cut them in half. After cutting all the circles in half, I added slits in the centre. This is going to help build up that front part of the geese and help design the duct tape pattern. After that, I cut out a load of cardboard strips and then start gluing them and adjusting where I see fit until I was very happy with the design. After I was happy with the shape, I started to cover it with some cling film. Using some duct tape, I added a layer, ready to make a pattern. Cut out the pattern and transferred that onto Eva Faom, making sure that I flipped each pattern. After cutting each pattern out, I went back in and did some necessary adjustments so then it would help with the overall shape. After all the pieces were ready to go, I used contact cement to glue them together. Please remember to use proper PPE. After gluing the two sides together, I started to notice that I wasn't really happy with the front part. Made some adjustments and realised I did not like the duct tape pattern I made, so I redid the first part again. For the legs, I used this flat plastic. Then I figured out how big I'd like the legs with a knee joint using a nut and washers and designed this makeshift mechanism. Using some tinfoil, I makeshift the feet so I could gauge on how big the feet were going to be next to the legs. For the feet, I cut out and glued some tubes out of some Eva Faom and glued them together. And for the little claws, I cut them out of upholstery. Little feeties. The wings, I cut out a template and added that onto some Eva Faom. I wanted the wings to move, so I used a door hinge. After gluing that in, I used the same flat plastic to secure and support the wings, gluing one on the inside and outside. I designed my own handle by heat forming some PVC pipe around another one that was intending to be glued into the body. After clipping on my makeshift handle, I secured it in place with a bit of glue and duct tape. To pad out the legs, I used this upholstery foam, making sure to add it in a way where it does not infringe on the movement. This is me doing a dance and a movement check just to make sure that I was happy with the overall shape. To create the top part of the thigh, I drawed out a chicken nugget shape, doubled it up, glued it together, started to shape it until I was happy with the overall design. And I started to cut out a groove so the flat PVC had somewhere to sit.
Before
Before gluing it in, I did add a bolt with some washers. This is to make it slightly easier to attach and hide the bolt. Adding some washers as well on the end. Doing a movement test to make sure I was happy. These feet were made for walking. Back onto the body, I use this Linning Frabric as its first cover. There's many of ways to do this. You could use your existing duct tape pattern, or you could use the method of draping your fabric over the piece. After gluing and securing the fabric down, I went along the main seam with a ladder stitch. For the wings, I used these feeder tubes. Get out roughly where they should go to make the wings work. This is trial by error. And for that extra security and strength, I covered them in Worbla. After covering the tubes in Worbla, I hand sewed them onto the batting. I added a cover onto the top part so nothing would interfere with the string. Also, it makes it look a little bit more nicer. For the tail, I used some blue foam, carved it into shape, and with the same batting material, draped and used a ladder stitch. After this, I attached it onto the body. For the handle of the body, I decided to heat form a PVC pipe into shape with a heat gun, adding some cream foam for comfort and batting fabric. After attaching the handle onto the body, the build of the body is all done, ready for its fabrication. In part 2, we'll be going over how I made the head, but for now guys, thank you so much for watching, supporting my work. Till then, happy crafting!